Hi guys, Darth Deuce here in the Star Wars Black Series 6-inch action figure review, and today we're taking a look at the Lando Calrissian 6-inch figure. This figure came out a little while ago as part of the Royal Guard wave in 2017, and it was repacked in the first wave of 2018, and I decided to finally pull the trigger on this figure. It wasn't a figure I was sure I was going to pick up, but it's Lando, and I really wanted Lando for the collection. He is one of the more main characters of the original trilogy, obviously, so yeah, so we'll take a look at him in the packaging first. Packaging is pretty good, you know, it's your standard Black Series 6-inch packaging. You got the figure in there and whatnot. It is a nice image of Lando Calrissian there. He's number 39. There's another more up-close image, and it says, once a smooth-talking smuggler, Lando Calrissian changed from a get-rich-quick schemer to selfless leader in the fight against the Empire. So yeah, pretty cool. But I'm going to crack this guy open and take a close look at him outside the box, so I'll be right back. Alright, now I got Lando out of the packaging, and it's not a bad figure, but it's not a great figure either. There's things I like about it, and there's a decent amount I don't. You know, it's limited in what it can do, but that's okay. I don't really need to get too many dynamic poses out of it, but that's definitely one of the issues with this figure, is the posability is pretty limited, even for Black Series. But yeah, let's take a look at him. I think the first thing we want to take a look at is definitely the head sculpt here. And, you know, head sculpt's pretty good, actually. Well, I mean, Black Series doesn't have a problem getting the sculpts down. It's more or less the paint apps that don't bring out the sculpt very well. But for not having the face print technology, getting it in hand, it doesn't look too bad. I think the shade, skin tone is correct or pretty good. Mouth and the mustache and the eyes, I think, are painted actually pretty well. The hair looks pretty good. It's got like kind of flow back going on. The sculpt's quite nice. And actually decent head sculpt. I don't really have too much of an issue with it. Obviously, face print technology would have made this look way better, but it still, I think, is serviceable, so that's good. As you can see, it does feature a cape. It is plastic, which is good in some ways and not good in other ways. It is more sturdier, and it does sit on the figure better, so it just overall looks better when you have him just stand like that. But even though it's a decently pliable, because it's plastic, you're not going to get nearly as many poses as you would be able to otherwise. You can still like lift his arm up like this, but you can't like move it out too much or anything like that. The cape's just going to come off because it literally just sits on his shoulders. You know, just goes around the neck, sit on his shoulders, and like clip in or do anything like that. But I'll take the cape off because it is removable. And that's actually quite nice. You got a really nice sculpted detail on the inside of the cape, and this gold paint looks really nice. And you got the black collar and whatnot, and the rest of the sculpt looks pretty decent. There is some paint errors here and there on the figure, which is kind of unfortunate, but it's not too bad. And you got like the black around the collar, it looks good, and you know, you got the blue tunic, and really the rest of the figure is pretty simple, to be completely honest. You got the blue tunic. The plastic is made of is actually quite interesting. It feels a bit different than other Black Series figures. I don't know, maybe I'm just crazy, but yeah. On the wrist here, he does actually have that little device or whatever on his wrist. So that's pretty cool, and it's actually painted. Got a little bit of paint apps going on there, which is nice. Got the belt, which is, you know, pretty standard, and the pants are really basic. Sculpting's not insane on them, but they look decent. And he's got the glossy sort of dress shoes on, which is pretty cool. Painted in a glossy black. And overall, look-wise, he looks decent, you know. Put the cape on him, looks pretty good. I'm not going to complain too much about that. Articulation-wise, he's okay, but he's not fantastic. With the cape on, obviously it hinders a lot of the arm movement, like I said. But the head, you know, you can rotate it. He really can't look up, which is unfortunate, and you can only look down that much. So that's a bit unfortunate. His ball hinges at the shoulders, you can get them moving out, and you can rotate them around. You get the ball hinges at the elbows. Even though he has like the angled cut, you're only getting about 90 degrees out of it. He has a diaphragm joint, or a torso joint. You can't really crunch back. Can crunch forward okay amount. You can pivot and rotate. The ball hinges at the hips. They actually don't kick out as well as I'd like them to because of the way the groin is sort of sculpted. It kind of moves outwards a little bit, which kind of sucks. And you know, you can move them out actually pretty far. that's good. You move him back a bit. You got swivel cut at the thigh, a double hinge at the knees, and then a hinge at the ankle with rockers. He can be a bit of a pain in the ass to stand because of the way his heels and feet are sculpted, but it's not a huge deal. Overall, he's not terribly articulated, but it's limited. You're not getting insane poses with this guy. In terms of accessories, if I can get this guy to stand, he comes with a few stuff. So you do have the cape, like I showed before. You also get a blaster. Funny enough, it's like more of a rebel blaster, which I don't think he used in the movie. He used in Stormtrooper blaster, and it's not like if you're collecting blasters, you probably have a few extra E11 blasters. So if you really wanted to give him a more accurate blaster, you could. But you get this gun, so that's cool. It's got some silver paint apps on the top there, so that's nice. And you can hold that well in his right hand. Kind of. Well, you can't actually the trigger. Getting his finger in the trigger is a bit of a challenge, but because of the way the gun's sculpted, but there we go. Eventually you can do it. He holds the gun good, You can get him holding with both hands. You can hold just one hand. You can do whatever you want with it, so that's pretty cool. And they also included this really tiny accessory. It's his little communicator. I think he uses the Communicate Lobot. It's been a little while since I've watched the movie, so I'm not 100% sure, but I'm pretty sure that's what it is. And it's really small, so it'd be really easy to lose, so be careful about that. It's got some gold paint apps, some silver paint apps, and some black paint apps. It looks pretty good. And he can hold it in his right hand, his left hand. That's the hand he's going to be able to hold it the best in. And unfortunately, there's nowhere to actually plug it on his belt. It would have been nice if you can plug it on his belt or something, because it is really small. But either you got to try to throw it in your accessory bag and hope you don't lose it, or have him hold it. But yeah, so let's get the cape back on him, because he looks sort of weird without it on, to be honest. So there is Lando. I'll do a really quick size comparisons to figure I have on hand. It makes no sense. Here's the Jango Fett. And Django's a little taller. I'd say Django's probably about the average height 6-inch figure. I think Billy D. Williams is a little shorter than average. So it probably makes sense he's a bit shorter than the average 6-inch figure. And overall, it's not a bad figure. It's also not a great figure. I don't think we're going to be getting another Lando, or at least not another Cloud City Lando figure anytime soon in the 6-inch form. So if you're collecting the Black Series 6-inch line, I would definitely recommend picking this one up if you can get it for retail or lower. For retail lower, it's probably worth it. You're getting one of the main cast of the original trilogy, and despite its downfalls, it's still a decent figure. Anyways, thank you guys for watching. Let me know anything in the comments below, and as always, may the Force be with you.